Let's talk about Kanye. So Kanye apparently is out here. It look like y'all outraged towards the Heil Hitler stuff and all the controversial anti-Semitic mess that he was out here putting. I guess that was short-lived because it seems like all is forgiven in the Kanye department because he went over to the SoFi Stadium, was sold out both nights. People was complaining. Oh, I just got your back. You said all good. People was complaining that some people like, well, he made. I think they say he made $30 million for both. I was like, okay, so that's your litmus test. The fact that, oh well, because all these sponsors are now dropping out. We're gonna get to that one. But people say, but he made all this money. I said, look at y'all up in here acting like y'all his accountant, counting all that man's money that you're never actually gonna get in your account. But you got time to sit up in here and count how much money you believe from whatever you read that Kanye is accumulating from those 2 nights. So, and then I also heard some people say, well, how come y'all are going in and letting have on Kanye, or if all is forgiven with him, but y'all over here dragging Chili and all these other women? So y'all, well, it's probably because I feel like at the end of the day, men hate women. And I'm not saying that men hate women to the point that y'all are homosexuals in the closet. That's not what that means. You can fuck a woman, you can have all kinds of relations, do whatever with a woman, but I'm talking about the respect part. The fact that do you respect women? Do you actually, when they go through whatever type of hardships, that y'all will sit up in here and give them the same type of energy that you would give your favorite male. And I think that maybe the reason why a lot of people have pretty much forgiven Kanye is because they're still holding on to college dropout Kanye. They're looking at late registration Kanye. They're not looking at this current Kanye. And from what I heard, even though, like I told you, I have not listened to a Kanye West album in years, but I've been hearing that the Bully album is actually pretty good. So if you come out with music and they listen to it, and it's like, even though he's problematic, these songs kind of slap. I'm not laughing because I'm saying like, okay, it's what, but I totally get it. It's like this music slaps though. You're kind of conflicted to the point of like, well, I don't like all the stuff he be saying, but these songs are kind of dope though. So I think people are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I'm not justifying a lot of his actions or whatever, but I'm just basically saying I get it. I just people's minds is it's a weird thing. But anyway, let's get into the story regarding all these people that's dropping out of this event that Kanye is headlining, like he dropped out of college. So the scheduled 3 night headlining appearance by Kanye, they want to call him Ye, I ain't calling him that shit, at July's Wireless Festival in London is only growing in controversy. The festival's primary sponsor, Pepsi, which I actually prefer better than Coke. They got that good fizz when I be drinking Pepsi. Coke, I feel like it goes flat too damn fast. But anyway, it said announced Sunday that it is withdrawing from its decade plus co-branding with Wireless and was followed later in the day by Diageo, owner of Johnny Walker and Captain Morgan alcohol brand, stating that it too was pulling out of its sponsorship. Although the statement did not mention the rapper by name, it came hours after Kunye's booking was roundly condemned by the UK's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. Now, on Monday, 2 more sponsors pulled back, with sources telling Variety that Rockstar is withdrawing its sponsorship, and the BBC reported that PayPal will no longer allow its branding to be used, although it apparently has not pulled out completely. Well, y'all need to make up your damn mind. I forgot which person owns PayPal. They said some type of, is it one of the Ellisons, I believe, owns it? I got to look that up. Who owns PayPal? But I remember hearing it was some type of corporate person that. Anyway, let's just get into the rest of the story. Now, they said, however, all the brands are still present at the festival's website as of Monday morning. Remaining festival sponsors include Budweiser, Beatbox, and Drip. Well, we already know that old Budweiser and their old piss water tasting beer wasn't going no damn well. Now, either way, the festival's future seems to be in question. The festival had officially been known as the Pepsi Max Presents Wireless as part of a partnership that had been in place since 2015. Although many music fans welcome Kunye's return to the stage there, Pepsi has also widely tagged was also has had also tagged what? Okay, let me read that again. Although many music fans welcomed Kunye's return to the stage there, Pepsi had also widely tagged an outrage. Okay, that don't make no sense. I thought I was bugging. It says Pepsi had okay, let me just put it in my own words. Pepsi was widely tagged. That you can't say had also widely tagged. That don't make no damn sense. So they were tagged in outraged tweets protesting the company's apparent. So basically, long story short, because I'm sitting there having a whole brain aneurysm trying to make sense of this goddamn sentence. What they're saying is Pepsi only decided to pull out because I feel like y'all full of shit over there because they were getting backlash from people online. So Prime Minister Starmer had also made it clear that they said that he, for one, was not ready to normalize Kanye yet, now that the hip hop superstar is seemingly returning to touring business as usual in other countries. I don't think wait, they said he couldn't tour in America, right? But he was at the SoFi Stadium, isn't that in LA? They said it is deeply concerning. Kanye West has been booked to perform at Wireless despite his previous anti Semitic remarks in celebration of Nazism. This is what Starmer said in a review to the British newspaper The Sun. Anti Semitism in any form is abhorrent and must be confronted firmly wherever it appears. Everyone has a responsibility to ensure Britain is a place where Jewish people feel safe. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like we should be condemning Zionism and we should also be condemning any kind of isms. But y'all don't even get me started on this mess regarding the fact that y'all want to look, we already get in the conversations between, my issues with people who are in Israel that like to pull the anti-Semitism card to justify their rhetoric. But I do agree that Kanye, what you running around here saying all this crazy stuff and praising Hitler and selling the merchandise and coming out with a song called How Hitler and all that mess. And you had Nick Fuentes crazy ass up in the club with a bunch of groypers who I know they probably was fucking each other on the low dancing and partying to that damn song in the club. First of all, if you played up in the club, I'm slapping you, all of y'all, and the damn DJ for being so stupid to play that damn song. Now, and in London, Mayor Sadiq Khan on Wednesday made statements distancing the city's government from the festival in Finsbury Park on July 10th to the 12th. Said, we are clear that the past comments and actions of the artists are offensive and wrong. We simply are not reflective of London's values, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So yeah, and they said that they told about it. He played 2 nights at SoFi Stadium in the LA area where he was joined by Lauren Hill. I'm surprising her ass was on time for that, but she ain't on time for nothing else. So Lauren was there, Travis Scott and Don Tolliver was there, and also and they said he performed on top from atop a giant half globe in the middle of the enormous venue, which we know he threw a damn temper tantrum because there was some technical difficulties in the middle of the concert. I'm like, you couldn't have did a run through before y'all went live? And would you not rehearse? Because I don't know how y'all having technical issues during the show. I mean, I know things happen, but y'all could have worked that out before the people came up in there to see you live. I also heard Erica Badu was there. It was a bunch of celebrities. Winnie Harlow, a bunch of people. So, and y'all know that he came out with the full page ad apology in the Wall Street Journal a couple of months ago, which would be January, and saying that, yeah, that um he is acknowledging that his behavior had made him a pariah, where he lost a lot of deals. He lost a lot of, people didn't want to mess with him no more. But remember, he did that, and that's why I said I side-eyed the whole situation. I was like, we'll see if this is all real, because you were running around. You've done this before, where you've done the apology, and then you go and you say something crazy, and then you want to blame it on your car accident. You blame it on the alcohol, blame it on your low testosterone count. I don't know. You just like to blame it on everything instead of taking responsibility on you was probably looking to say something controversial. You knew it was going to help you go viral. It backfired. You can say anything about other people. You can throw black people under the bus, which you and a lot of these other coons out here in these streets be doing, but you can't say nothing about the Jewish community, which of course plays into the stereotype that Jews pretty much run the entertainment industry. And I know they don't like having that thing, but when you start seeing the way the things start moving after you say something that is deemed anti-Semitic, and I'm not saying what you didn't say wasn't, because it was, but when it's on other planes like Melissa Barrera and the whole Gaza situation, or anybody that comes out, or most recent when you had Kate Beckinsale's over plasticized ass trying to throw shade at Mark Ruffalo for liking a pro Gaza post, and she said something about him and a penis. I'm like, bitch, you look like you've been slapped with too many. And I like Kate Beckinsale, but when she recently came out and said that shit, she pissed me all the way off. I'm like, bitch, eat a sandwich and lay off them fillers because you looking crazy out in these damn streets. So when you have those type of things, that's when it becomes problematic. But yeah, Kanye, what you were saying out here was crazy. But that ain't the only thing that he got to worry about, because there was another story that I saw from news.scott.com where they was talking about that his permission to enter the UK is under review. So even though all these people are pulling out, which sidebar, before I get to that story, what I don't understand is, so y'all just woke up this morning and just discovered that Kanye was attached to this? Like y'all weren't aware? Because I would think that if sponsors and all these other people are in on this situation, there would have been some type of behind the scenes conversation. I think because Kanye was Kanye, because that's what we call him. Because Kanye is over here caught up in this situation. Now all of a sudden, because of the backlash from certain people online, now y'all want to backpedal and be like, well, I don't know if we want to be attached, blah, 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 blah. I was like, y'all should have been well aware of what's going on. Y'all know months in advance what's going on. It's kind of like the whole thing with the Super Bowl. They know who they're picking. They already know about the rehearsals. They know the sponsorships. They know all of this stuff. It's just they time it as to when the rest of us, John Q. Public, finds out about these business deals. But they've had them in place for a while. So I'm side-eyeing Pepsi. I'm signing all these other people, PayPal, Rockstar. I'm side-eyeing all of y'all that's out here trying to play this whole we're trying to protect our brand situation when y'all probably knew for a while that Kanye was a part of this situation. Y'all just trying to protect cover your own ass. So that's how I see it. But now they talking about permission for him to enter the UK is currently under review by ministers. Sky News understands following mounting pressure from his booking as the headline act for Wireless Festival. It comes as another commercial partner distanced itself from the festival on Monday amid strong criticism over the US rapper's previous comments, including from the Prime Minister. So we'll see if his I'm shall tour of talking mess about, you know, Jewish people and promoting anti-Semitism and trying to act like you the black version of Hitler. You was acting like your name is Blitler. Um, or that's going to help you down the road, and all will be forgiven, and you'll just be able to come out of here unscathed. I do feel like people are still going to give you that metaphorical lashing, that you're really going to have to grovel and work a lot harder to get in the good graces of a lot of people, because there are people, even though you did your little shows at SoFi Stadium, I don't see you being able to book in other places. And if the SoFi Stadium is the only place where you can accumulate a little $30 million situation, and that's enough for you, then awesome sauce. But as far as like how the people, these people going back and forth, whatever, I feel like I said all I needed to say in the beginning in regards of like, I just feel that some people maybe just have a hard time disassociating themselves from the whole situation because they felt like we want the old Kanye back. Y'all just gonna have to have that nostalgia just live in your head and remember as it once was. When people are gonna evolve and people are gonna change, but I understand we live in a nostalgia era because he's been around for a long time. So people wanted like old Kanye, and I heard that when he performed at the SoFi Stadium, that he performed a lot of the old hits. He wasn't doing a lot of new stuff, and I guess he was smart enough to know to do that because if people came up in there looking for old Kanye and he was performing all the new shit, y'all would have been upset. So you're not Madonna. You can't go up and do a whole tour around the new music and then people be okay with it because you're giving, amazing set pieces, artistic expression, fierce choreography, all that stuff. That's not the type of artist he is. He's somebody that's going to get on a stage and rap and have crazy things going on behind him with the technology. And yeah, you got to do those old songs. So we'll see how this all plays out down the road. But I want to ask all of you what do you guys think of this story regarding Kanye on the struggle bus with this UK festival and just your overall thoughts on that story. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.